Hello. Right. So I'm going to talk about ramping up the Django admin, if you like. Just some new stuff we can add that helps everyone. So let's get started. This is me. So a few years ago, I think, I started the Django accessibility team. At the beginning, it was just me and Thibaut, who hopefully is here or arriving in the next few seconds. Who knows? And then we quickly expanded and added Sarah here. Other than that, I've also been a Django contributor since like 2015 or so, I'm not really sure. I added stuff about database collations, the little navigation sidebar in the admin, that was me. A few things like that. I'm also doing stuff in the admin, like cleaning up CSS, mostly breaking things and then fixing them again. That was Django Navigator in the, I think it was it session 2 or was it technically session 1? Okay, session 0 didn't count. So yeah, I also been a coach in Django Girls for a few times, and my work life, I'm head of engineering at a company called Carbon Equity, where we use the power of capitalism to fix the climate, we think. Okay, so let's get started. So this actually is the corner of the street that I live on. It's Amsterdam, so there's bikes everywhere, and a little ramp with a disabled logo on it. You might have something like this. In America, they call them cut curbs or curb cuts or something. I'm not really sure, but I would just call it a ramp. So instead of calling this the curb cut effect, I want to sell it up a bit and call it ramping up, you know? We're making things cooler. So the idea of the curb cut effect is essentially accessibility improvements also make everything better for everyone, right? It's not just people with a wheelchair that can use this. People that are like unloading goods with a trolley or something also use this. I use this every day to park my bike a little bit faster. I think that might be illegal, but nobody has stopped me yet. And this, this saves me time. This slide is from, I think, a lightning talk in Heidelberg, DjangoCon Europe, from the stenographers. And this is another example of an accessibility feature that helps everyone. Like, okay, if you're deaf, then sure, listening to this talk is going to be difficult. But also, if you just don't understand my very bad, mumbly British accent, it's probably also super helpful for you. And these captions, or some other captions, will end up on YouTube. So if you're like on the train, you want to watch this talk, you can just put on the closed captions and look away. You don't have to remember to take your headphones or anything. It's, yeah, it's just nice. We also have some other examples. So when you cross the road, you press the button, or hopefully you don't have to, but sometimes you still do. You're waiting there's like a red light, then you turn over, you're talking to your friend, you're not really paying attention to the lights, but luckily it goes beep, 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 beep. So you know you can go over the road, right? Sometimes when I'm in a place that doesn't have these beepy traffic lights, I see people like they're so engrossed talking to their friend next to them, they miss like 2 or 3 cycles of the light, and they just never cross the road. Another example is like taking the lift, right? I wouldn't want to like cast aspersions on people, but I would guess that most of the people using the lift to come up to the 3rd floor don't really have disabilities. I would assume that they just don't want to take like a 3-flight walk up the stairs every time, which is fair, because neither do I. And then, yeah, in tech, like obviously if you have big text, especially if it's on a sign or something, like that's easier to read from further away. We also have things like voice recognition. So if you think about it, everyone is kind of temporarily disabled at some point. Like if you're riding your bike, you could use your phone like this. You probably shouldn't. Just use your phone and your bike. But you could also just say, hey, insert name of AI. I won't say any names to stop everyone's phones from going haywire, but you can just ask the computer to navigate you somewhere or whatever. You don't have to take your hands off the controls. A little bit safer. And yeah, so we also have alternative formats. So I mentioned captions. I mentioned voice recognition, but there's also the other way around where you can read out some text. It's also useful if you want to keep your hands free. You're cooking a recipe or something. Your hands are in the dough. You just want like to read off like a recipe or even just a Wikipedia article or something while you're going. If you're really lucky, the people that have put this together will have had real people record the text, so it sounds nice, but even just having text-to-speech is still pretty nice. And I kind of put alt text at the end here because it's kind of the only thing that most web developers know about. So even this is useful, right? If your image doesn't load, you've got crappy internet, you can just, you at least have some idea what the image is trying to tell you, right? It's nice to have. So we're going to talk about the admin. Yeah, I think the last talk demonstrated quite nicely that you don't have to have this kind of extremist view that some people have, where if you ever give the Django admin to a non-developer, all your data is like, it's gone, right? That's not really the case. I don't know if I go quite so extreme in the other direction to your end users using it, but like most companies I've worked at certainly have the admin system available for internal but non-technical users to work with. So in my view, I mean, we just heard from one site, they have like 450,000, was it, users. And if you scale that up to all the Django deployments, maybe not everyone has 450K users in the admin, but you know, we're probably talking about millions of users using the admin. So the more we can improve it, the more beautiful it is for everyone, the more productive it is for everyone. People can do their work faster, and, well, increasing productivity is cool. If we know anything from data, it's that when you increase productivity, the effect of that is that you also increase standard of living for everyone, right? So this is, like, you might think, it's just accessibility, I just have to tick a box. But you're not just, like, making lives better of, like, 5% of people, it's like 100% of people. So I think that we should focus on that. And now we get to the tricky part, where I'm going to attempt to show something I've been working on a bit. What have we got here? Okay. Now, bear with me a sec. I think I just need to remember how to do this. Yeah. Is that what I want? That's almost what I want. This is what I want. Yeah. So I hope this is readable, because it's not the greatest resolution, but we'll see what we can do. I also have something called Keycaster on, so hopefully when I press buttons, you can see them. So that's nice. So this is the admin site. We all know it. Some of us love it. But I made a few little changes. If you press question mark key, I'll get a little dialogue. Probably that's illegible, but basically it tells you the keyboard shortcuts that I've added. One of them is showing you this dialogue. And then here we have going to the site index, which is a combination. You press G, then you press I, then you'll get to the site index, but we're already there. And you can also go to a change page by pressing G followed by L. And then you can get to anything, regardless what page you're on, which is okay, but we can do a bit better. Let's have a look at this, this change list. Let's say we want to delete some of these objects. What do we have to do? Well, if we're a keyboard user, which is going to be faster, we're going to be pressing tab a bit. We've got to get past the sidebar here. Now we're in the search. Now we're in the date hierarchy. Let me just go through all these years. Sorry, this will be a little bit of time. Right. No, not yet. This is all of them. I don't really want all. These are the ordering for the headers. Now finally I can press space and select this. So now I press tab and just do the next one, right? So it's the link to the page. Well, surely the next one, right? I've used list editable, so I can edit these fields now. That's a bit annoying, isn't it? So now not only that, but so is this, and it's also has a date in it, so it's got today and the date picker. It's kind of annoying, right? It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I want this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this one, right? Wouldn't it be easier if we could just use the Vim keys and X to just go through these and pick whichever ones we wanted? It's a bit faster, right? And then we can just press A to go directly to the actions, delete everything, press Enter. And then we've got a similar problem here though, right? So now we've got tab through. Let's say that you remember, actually, that the skip link is here. You can at least bypass the navigation. This is something nice we added a couple of years ago. But now I have to go through all of these, make sure I really want to delete all these things. But actually I don't want to. So I just, you know, where is it? I don't need to remember that, I can just press Alt and then and go back. Usually. Yeah, okay. Not perfect yet. Yeah, I'm back to help. Yeah, and each page is overridden, so it has just the shortcuts, like the global shortcuts you can use anywhere, and also the shortcuts for this change list page. So it's a little bit slick if you ask me, but you probably shouldn't ask me because I wrote it. Yeah, I think that is most of what I have implemented. There's one more thing I'd really love to add. It'll take a little bit of work, but it's possible. I think we could have a G followed by C, maybe, for a change view. And then you do that, you get a little drop down of every model, select the model. Then you get in a little typey filterable input. And then, well, you can just type whatever's in the search fields for your admin, and then narrow down to a single object to go to the change list page, the change view page, from anywhere in the admin. You don't even have to be on the list page, you don't have to be anywhere, you can be anywhere you want. So that's what I've been working on for the past couple of weeks. I think it was 6 or so hours in total. Now I have to do the hop back to my slides, which will actually, while I'm here, there's one more thing I want to show. And I don't need Keycaster for this, which means I can turn you off, but it also means I can make you full screen, so this is actually visible. Where we can go with this, if you really wanted to, is, let's go somewhere else. Let's go to one of mine. Right? I was connected to the Wi-Fi earlier, I promise. I'm connected to the Wi-Fi. Let me use my phone. It'll work. Okay, maybe there's just no internet anymore. That's disappointing. But if you've ever used GitHub, actually, if you've got your laptop with you now, just go to GitHub, hit Command K. You'll get a command palette. You can search for pull requests from wherever you are. So if you're on a completely different repo, you can just probably hit backspace a few times, type in DJ, you'll get to Django because it remembers where you've been. Get to DJ again to get into the repo, it will remember where you've been. And then you can hit a hash, and then just type whatever you want in, and it'll like order those pull requests by like how recently you looked at them or something, I don't know. It does something magic and it always knows exactly what I want. Now let me see if I can go back. I can, but it's the wrong way around. That's where it was. Okay. So not too many technical difficulties, except you can see my speaker notes because I don't think I mirrored it properly. But I don't need these, so I won't worry about it. Yeah, so like I mentioned, this was something I put together in a few hours. There are bugs. The main problem, I think, is that it can't exist as a third-party package, really. What I've done is I've overridden the footer block in the base template because it doesn't get used for anything. But if any site uses it, and they probably do, then it's just going to break everything. The only way to really get around this, I think, is to re-implement the entire base template for the admin, which, for obvious reasons, I don't want to keep up to date. So this needs to be brought into core. And there is an accepted ticket for it, so in theory we're good. But I think nobody's really decided what we should put in. And that's what I'm trying to throw together today is like maybe this or something like this. I don't know, but yeah, so at the moment as well, everything is just kind of well, basically you just go to the change list template, for example, override it, put in a block with the extra shortcuts you want in like HTML form so you can see it in the help module. And then you also have to write like an extra JS file that actually handles the shortcuts. So it's possible we can have declarative shortcuts for some items. So for example, if you want to just say on this button, if you press this keyboard shortcut, then it will just click the button, right? That's something we can do declaratively. We can just put a data class on the button attribute or the anchor attribute, whatever, anchor element, whatever it happens to be. And then, yeah, we don't have to, we could probably generate the text for the help modal. Everything just works, maybe. Of course, for the Vim keys on change list, for doing some of the fanciest navigation stuff, probably always going to need something manual there. Yeah, adding more shortcuts like the one I mentioned would be super nice. There are exactly 0 tests, as you might expect. There's probably a lot more to do, and then, yeah, I hope we can get this ported to core. And luckily in 2 days, or 1 day, I don't know, the day after tomorrow, we have 2 days of sprints. So if anyone wants to help me with this, please say, I want to help you with this. And we'll see what we can do in 2 days. I'm imagining that's not enough to get us all the way, but we can get somewhere. Maybe a draft PR, maybe at least, here's what we want. Here's how we can get there. And if the sprints don't make it, then the repo is at the QR code. Please do with it what you will, and we'll try to get it into some kind of mergeable state. Yeah, like I wanted to show you from GitHub, we could also extend this eventually into a command palette where we can do all kinds of cool stuff just from a little thing that appears with all nice help everywhere, very swish. Another thing I'd really like to do, so I mentioned earlier that I put together the navigation sidebar. I was always a bit unhappy with the compromise that I made. It doesn't show up on the index page or the app index page because people were like, you know, that's redundant. We've got the same thing in 2 places. I agree. We should get rid of it in the main content and just have the sidebar everywhere. We should not let people turn off the sidebar as they currently can, or at least if they want to, they have to override a template or something, not just changing something in the admin. I think that was another mistake, to make it even possible to disable it without overriding a template or something. Now, I'm pretty sure the fellows are going to say, no, that's backwards incompatible, but we'll find a way. We'll do it. If we can do that, then we can use the homepage for something really cool, metrics. Everyone that uses the admin is like, I want some metrics on the page. I don't mean uses the admin like me, I mean uses the admin like the people I work with that aren't technical. Like the people in other teams, like, they want to know what's happening. They don't want to, well, they do want to ask me what the numbers are, but I don't want to go and remember how to use SQL and do aggregates. I don't remember how to aggregate things. So it'd be nice if we can just build something and they can just go, there it is, right? Leave a little space for the user, use your imagination, put things together. Another nice thing might be to have user documentation for the admin. Not for us, we already have that, but for the people that use the admin, right? I don't know exactly what this looks like. This is a difficult problem, I think, because everyone uses the admin for different things. But most companies I've worked at, they've had like documentation. Here's how you do this, right? Well, maybe we can do something to help people at least build something that is like, here's how you add a whatever object, right? And other ideas I'm always interested in hearing. So this was the accessibility team until a short time ago. We have some people in the room, I hope, more than one. But this, we took this in FOSDEM in Brussels a few months ago. We got together. And since then, we have such a big team now that I couldn't fit it on just one half of the slide. I had to use the whole slide now. And I had to spend like 10 minutes trying to figure out how to add text in Mac Preview. It wasn't very fun, but I got there in the end. I hope I didn't like typo anyone's name here, because I don't think I did. So I think we have some of our team at the front. Maybe you can wave a bit if you want to. No? We're shy today? Okay. Thibaut looked at my slides this morning and he said, look, you can't do an accessibility talk and not mention the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines. So I said, okay, fine. So here's a picture of the original 3, plus our good friend Sage, who sadly couldn't make it here today. Attempting to spell WCAG. I don't know how well it worked. This was in the social at DjangoCon last year. I don't think we were really supposed to be standing there, but nobody told us not to, so we think it's good. Finally, this is me again. I'm not on any social media. I find it like super toxic in every possible way. So I'm just on GitHub. My personal website is there. I also run the Django Discord. So if you haven't joined that, you should have. and do so like now. It's easy to find. It's on the community page. Just go there, press some buttons. We also have some stickers like this one. It's pretty nice. We got 2 more designs. So come and ask someone, and we give you some stickers. That's it. That's all I got.